This video is sponsored by UVS Games. Be sure to check out the Street Fighter 6 Challenger decks featuring Ryu, Luke, Chun-Li, and Jamie. Visit your local game stores or go to play.uvsgames.com for more information. What's going on, everybody? It's your pal My Hero Goob here with another product review. This video is once again sponsored by UVS Games, so shout out to them for sending me the Street Fighter 6 Challenger decks along with this Jamie playmat that they sent me as well. Thank you guys so much for doing that for me. So there's two Street Fighter Challenger decks that are available now at your local game store. One will come with Ryu, Luke. One will come with Jamie and Chun-Li. Both will also come with a booster pack, which will have a featured alt art in there for you as well. So I think to start off the review, we're going to start with Jamie and Chun-Li, as he is right here in the playmat. So I figured it was appropriate to at least take a look at his deck first. So you'll get your pack. You'll get a little booklet that'll have, you know, all the cards in here. It'll explain the rules, it looks like, how the drive mechanic works. Fun little stuff there. And then obviously the deck itself. We'll start with Jamie.
The top player is he.
A 7-hand 22 health character who does response commit once per turn. After you play an attack, add 1 drink counter to this card, and then enhanced tenacious, your attacks get +1 speed, +1 damage for each drink counter on this card, maximum 4. If your attack is completely blocked, ready this card. Okay, pretty cool. I'm glad that it's only a once per turn for Jamie to be able to add that drink counter. That would be a little busted for him to be able to go back and forth if you were able to, you know, commit him for +1/+1. Oh, it's blocked, I'll ready him. Hey, I'll respond, add another one for 2/2, right? So I think this makes him pretty fair. He's on the air, fire, water symbols, so he's got some pretty interesting, pretty aggro-y symbols there for you. Then you have Chun-Li, martial arts master, who's a 6-hand 31 health character, who says enhance once per turn, clear 1 kick card from your card pool, ready a foundation, your attack gets +2 speed. And then after an attack is completely blocked, your rival freezes 1 committed foundation, who is on air, order, water. So kind of wanting to play the more control-y game. You know, if you play your second attack, you can clear it, so your progressive's not as brutal. But pretty interesting. I'll be curious to play her and give her a shot. I'm gonna be honest with you too, I didn't really see a lot of the reveals for this, so these are gonna be pretty new to me. So we'll start with the ultra rares that are in the deck. You'll get, it is a 6 diff 3 check, 2 mid block, 4 high for 7, charge fury. That says response hand to drive 1. Add this card to your card pool. After a completely blocked attack resolves, you may try to play this attack from your card pool. It gets -2 difficulty and +2 speed. So for those that are familiar, there used to be an old mechanic in UVS called reversal. This is kind of a little bit of a twist on this. So to explain to the new players how this works, so let's say you're attacking me and I go to throw, I don't know, let me find a block that would make sense. So here's a high block attack, right? So I go to block. It's completely blocked. I have this in hand. I will respond. I'll either spend a momentum with my character or I'll commit one. I now get to play this attack on your turn and attack as a response window. So essentially you're kind of taking over their turn just for a moment. Just for a moment, you're taking over their turn, and then once the attack resolves, it goes back to the original player's turn. Other ultra rare that's in here. Break-in is a 5 difficulty, 3 check, +1 high block as a 5 mid for 5 powerful 3 fury kick. This is drive 1. After you play this attack, add 1 drink counter to your character or ready your character. So this is almost you must have this if you're gonna play Jamie, because it's a kind of another sneaky way on, if this is your first attack that you play, you can suddenly say, I'll give myself a drink counter. I'll commit to give him a drink counter. So now he automatically has 2 drink counters, so everything gets an extra 2/2 essentially on his face. Then you go to play a second one. You can either choose to add another one to give it 3/3, or if you think you'll need him to pass to commit it for the next check, you can just re-ready him. Or, ironically, if you go to block, I'm gonna respond ready him. I'll respond out of hand. I'll give this 1/1, or I'll give it a drink counter, and then, you know, give however many drink counters I have. So you've got a pretty unique little play that you can do here. It's going to be a foundation. It's called Dance of the Phoenix. It says it's a 3 difficulty, 5 check, +2 high block unique kick asset that says response once per turn. After your attack is completely blocked, your rival freezes 1 committed foundation. If your rival has 10 or more foundations, commit and freeze 1 rival foundation. So you tell them to freeze and commit 1. If they happen to be at 10 or at deadlock, then you get to target something. Otherwise, it's up to them on what they want to commit and freeze in that. As we look here, let me go on to the rares. You have the 100 lightning kicks, which is a 5 difficulty, 3 check, +1 mid block, stun 1 kick, 4 mid for 5, or 100 lightning kicks. I'm sorry, I mispronounced that. It says when this card is cleared from your card pool during the combat phase, your rival loses 1 health. This effect may not reduce them below 1. Then it says response once per turn, discard 1 card. After this card leaves the card pool, add it to your hand. So you can play this, and then you can essentially use Chun-Li to kick it and then put it back in your hand, play it again. So you're kind of circus noising or carouseling all of those attacks. Then you have arrow kick. Arrow kick is a 4 difficulty, 3 check, +2 high block, 4 low for 4. This is response. After you play this attack, it gets +2 speed if your character is ready, or +2 damage if your character is committed. So this one seems like it'll be really good for Jamie, because it's either you can decide to give this +2 speed, or you can add the drink counter, and now he's committed, so now it gets an extra 2 damage, and then you can add the stats on top of that. And then with Chun-Li, I'll go ahead and kick this, because it does say kick on here. Ready a foundation next, and then the current attack that I'm currently playing gets +2 speed. Then you have Phantom Sway, which is a 5 difficulty, 3 check, +2 mid block, 4 low for 5 EX2. Blitz, drive 1, so either spend a momentum or commit 1. Commit and freeze a rival foundation. So very control-y. You know, if there's a piece that you're trying to get them to say they can't have on their next turn, or make them decide what's more valuable to them if you don't think you're going to be able to kill them, or if there's something defensively that they really need and they're having that hard time choosing, card is really good in that retrospect. One other card I wanted to go over, only because it has the infinite symbol on it, and I think it's really good. I do. It's the action. It's a 0 diff forward check plus 0 mid block called Drive Parry. This is response to rival's turn. After your rival plays an enhanced ability on foundation, cancel it. And then after you play this card, ready a foundation. So you know, things that are on like response speed. So like, you know, incredible display, or if somebody tries to you know, nerf the speed on something on a response, or if they say your stats can't change, you can just straight up cancel that and then ready a foundation. So infinite symbol, very, very, very good. Definitely, I think personally, anything with the infinite symbol is just, depending on what it does, like this one readies a card and you know, cancels an effect. I think it's just completely worth it. So there is your Chun-Li and Jamie. Now we'll move on to Ryu and Luke. I also want to shout out to UVS Games. They know how difficult it is for me to open some of these boxes, so this one came pre-opened on the bottom. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Once again, little booklet, the collector booster, and then the deck itself. So again, this will come with Ryu and Luke. We'll start with Ryu.
This will be a good
He is a 6-hand, 32 health character, brawler, on the all fire and void symbol that says, Tenacious, your non-tech, non-weapon attacks get +2 damage. And then after an attack is completely blocked, draw 3 cards, add 1 card from your hand to the top of your deck. So he, once per turn, can allow you to sculpt. And then even with him being committed, as long as it's a non-tech, non-weapon card, it gets +2 damage. So he can opening hand let you sculpt when something's blocked. Then you have Luke Sullivan, Gym Coach, 6-hand, 30 health.
You ready?
On the all Earth fire symbol, it says enhance. Attack gets +1 speed, -1 speed. Then if this attack speed is 5 or greater, it gets +2 or -2 damage. And then response once per turn after an attack is completely blocked. Look at the top card of your deck. You may discard it. So again, he's not quite as sculpty as Ryu is. Ryu gets to put the cards in his hand, where Luke just says, I'm going to see if I pass or fail this next check. Oh, I'm going to fail it. I'll discard it. Okay, cool. Let me move on from there. In here, your ultra rares are going to be Pale Rider, which is a 5 difficulty, 3 check +2 high block with Echo Fury Punch Slam as a 4 low for 5 that says Blitz, drive 1. You may clear 1 other attack card from your card pool rather than spending momentum to pay cost of this ability's Echo ability. So if you have a second attack that you have played, you can do this, either spend a momentum or commit a foundation and say, when this attack resolves, I can discard this from my card pool and use its Echo ability that way. That's pretty cool. Then you have, oh, I'm gonna butcher this. Shin Hot, yeah, we're just gonna call this one Shin, which is a 5 difficulty, 3 diff +1 mid block, powerful 3 charge slam fury as a 6 mid for 4. That says response after this attack receives a damage bonus of 2 or greater, your rival commits a foundation. So you play its powerful 3, you have foundations, or you have the assets or anything that says a minimum +2 damage. You essentially have stun 1 on its face every time it gets the damage buff. Then you have the foundation, the Unyielding Path, which is a 3 difficulty, 5 diff foundation +2 low block. That says response once per turn. After an attack is blocked, look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Add any number of them to your discard pile. If your opponent has 10 or more foundations, draw a card. So it's another kind of cheeky way to draw if your opponent is at 10 or deadlock. Pretty interesting. I think his is a little better just on his face, but still, you know, if you consider, you know, most people are willing to go into deadlock, that's not really a bad card to have. All right, now we can move on to the rares. So this one is called Rising Uppercut. It's a 4-diff 3 check +0 high block. As a 4 high for 4, this is when you try to block a non-ranged high attack with this card, reduce the attack speed to 4. And then response, drive 1 after you completely block an attack with this card. Try to play this card as an attack after it resolves. So again, it's another form of the old reversal, or like the Chung-Li. You essentially can take an attack on their turn as long as you completely blocked it. So you have to block a high with a high. You can't partial block and use its response. Then you have Avenger Impaler, which is a 3-diff 3 check 2 low block charge kick. It's a 4 high for 2, excuse me. That says blitz, drive 1 this attack. If this attack is not blocked, draw 2 cards, discard a card. So it's kind of like having latent skill, but only being able to discard 1 instead of discarding 2. Then you have the non-promo version of Ryu's attack that's been given out. I'm gonna butcher the name, so we're just gonna skip past that. It's a 4-diff check +1 mid block, 4 mid for 4 slam fury. That says response after this attack deals damage, add 1 card from your hand to your momentum. Respond, drive 1 after this attack resolves, add 1 card from your stage to the top of your deck. So again, another way to sculpt and another way to guarantee that you can pass a check on something. So you can take a momentum or take a card from your hand to add it to momentum. You can use the drive 1, either spend a momentum or commit something, take something from your stage, put it on top of your deck. So give yourself a guaranteed 5 check if worse comes to worse. Other than that, the only one that I thought was rather interesting when I was looking through the deck list, that I kind of want to highlight here, is the attack Luke Sweep. It says response after you play this attack's EX ability, add the top card of your deck to your momentum. So it's almost like as long as you have 1 momentum, you are guaranteed to just give yourself a free 4 speed every time. So thought that was kind of cool. All right, so that is the Ryu and Luke decks. So now with that being said, let's get on to the main event, shall we? Let's open up some collector boosters. Again, each deck comes with the collector booster. You only get 1 per deck. But there's 6 foils in here. So with that, let's see what we get. We get, let's see. You have My Fist Solve Problems. You have Fists of the Ages. You have Young Boss to Chinatown. You have Backshaver. You have a Solar Plex Strike, and then our alt art is the card attack I can't pronounce, but it's really cool. Really good art for this. All right, last one. You get Swagger Step. You get Falling Crane. Endlessly Dotting. Exclusively Buff Forearms. Guardian Angel of Chinatown. And then Arrow Kick as the alt art. I like this. I like these a lot. Again, thank you so much, UVS Games, for sending out the decks for me to show off and for me to highlight. Be sure to check out your local game stores for more Street Fighter 6 Challenger decks, and I'm really looking forward to fiddling around with these characters and see what sort of cool stuff we could do with them. So with that being said, I'll see you guys next time, and have a great day.